Oh my God, Russ, we're live.
What? Oh, Jesus, I gotta wake up.
Russ, did you know? Did you know that we're late?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's par for the course, right?
Should have told me. Should have told me, to be honest.
A little late, but
I didn't know we were late, so now I'm embarrassed. Is what I am.
It's okay, It's
So, how have you been, Russ?
pretty good. I just woke up a short time ago because I took a middle of the day nap. Since the last couple of nights, I hadn't slept much. You know a lot about that.
I've heard of such things. Yeah, I've heard of things. Hello, everybody. So this is the podcast. If you don't know, if you weren't here for the last one, we're doing the podcast live now.
Mm-hmm. It's you get to look at our beautiful faces on YouTube if you watch it live.
Oh my God, I'm just blown away by technology. I can't believe it. So kind of how this works is we're going to say hi to everybody. And then once we start the podcast, we won't really read too many of the YouTube comments. But I will be deferring to Twitter a little bit. I put up a poll. Which we're going to talk about. This whole episode is going to be about YouTube, probably. I hope, anyways.
I mean, that's the plan because, especially this week with our change in schedules, so much of it has been affected by, what we do, and we both work for YouTube to some capacity.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about things, a little inside stuff. Yes.
Some being 100% capacity.
Some non-disclosed capacity.
You know what? I just realized, because I've got the on-screen chat, but it's right over the orange part.
Yeah. It's a little hard to see the names. You're right.
It is a little bit difficult. You know what? I'm gonna move you down, Russ. There we go. Perfect. Solve the problem.
I give myself a little bit of color. There we go.
Ooh, but I was preferring without the color, though.
I know it was kind of nice, but you know what? I don't know. I gave it a Saving Private Ryan.
I know exactly what to do to fix the rest of this. Hold on.
All right.
There we go.
So
hold on. There we go. Perfect. That's just perfect. All right, now we're ready to start.
I'm underneath the chat though.
Oh yeah, you're underneath the chat, all right. Oh man. Hey, quick shout out. Hey, James Junbao is in. Hey James. James, I wish, you know what? James, if you're not doing anything, you should jump in because that'd be fun. We could use some class in this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. He could pose questions to us that we could then, he can keep things moving along.
Jala's in, Boos is here, Clayton Cams, Redneck Green Arrow. I see you down there, Russ. Brandon Blair, let him be, Joshua Gadsden, Unknown Sand 49. Dick is flapping in wind. Hello.
He's trying to get his beard longer. Everything he can. Just give it time.
Good luck on getting your beard longer.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Say hi to Jala.
Jala's here. Grandmaster Gaming. Matthew Qualgenbush. He says he's in bed. James says he's in bed. Well, that's a bad excuse, but I guess we'll accept it. Wicked Master Pete. He says, good job fixing that, Danger. I know, right? I really did fix this whole situation over here.
I feel like there's a better option somehow.
There might be. Hold on. I got an idea, and it might just work for this time. Or I might just fuck everything up. Let's try... Let's try this. Does that work? Not really. Shit. I don't know, man. There are no good options in this situation. It doesn't look good anywhere. You know what I could do? I could put like something dark behind it, maybe.
You know what you could do is make it just bigger. It'll be easier to read. I mean, it doesn't help that it's so small too.
Good point. All right.
Maybe if you moved us over and made that bigger, I don't know.
Well, I can't really resize the font.
I don't like.
Not on the fly anyway. Not without fucking everything up. maybe there. Okay, that's good enough.
Me paranoid.
Good enough.
Jala's making me paranoid. She's like, the fact that Russ still haven't seen it yet is still funny. What? What? See what?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, she's talking about when you were on top of me? I saw it. That's why I was going like this.
Yeah, Jala.
Trying to get underneath
Jesus Christ.
Come on.
Nathan Wojtovich is here. The Chill Zone PC. That's a really chill name.
Yeah, I like that.
As far as names go, that's pretty chill. The Fire Starter. DSR Impact Seal. Enrique Norman. Trinidad Espindola. Natsu Dragneel. Yeah.
King Dippers.
Yeah. King Dippers.
Ghost Gamer 08.
Ghost Gamer.
Lennon B, if it hasn't been said yet, I don't know.
It hasn't been said enough, is what it hasn't been.
Clayton Cams was gone for a while. He didn't know I had a beard at this point. Yeah, I haven't shaved in a very long time.
You didn't
Remember,
have a
he had been
beard
gone
last
for a while?
time he saw you? Was the last time that he watched like when you were with Indie Mogul?
No. Like, I think he means like to this degree, because this is more like I think I started growing this in the summer.
Mine got smaller.
So. Yes, it did.
It's kind of like where I prefer it, to be honest. But all right. But thanks everybody for hanging out. We're gonna get started soon. Basically, how we do these is we'll just start talking about a random thing, and then it'll start. Now, if you don't know, the podcast is it'll be on iTunes, it'll be on Stitcher, it'll be on SoundCloud, podcast.com,
and it's even on some sites you've never heard of.
Yeah, it's even on this platform that's specifically for Linux users.
So strange.
Yeah, like,
don't know how it got there, but whatever.
I put it there. Is what happened.
Oh, I thought it got picked up because you sounded like you had never even heard of it. You were like,
I haven't heard of it. No, I when I first set everything up, I put everything in a I did some research and I found every method of delivery for a podcast, and I submitted it to every single one.
I see.
It's even on like you can even get it on like satellite radio sometimes, I think. And
jeez.
And
that's cool.
Some like, you know how like they have like those satellite TV channels that are radio? Like some of them are talk radio and play podcasts. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of our podcasts played on one of those at one point in time.
That's cool.
Somebody's just got it on in the background. They're listening to like whatever NPR podcast, and then all of a sudden we come on and we're like, dicks! SHH Bronzin, Afro Heezy. Oh man. Palilife. Quarters in, and Mike Lasia, and Joseph Brewer. Joseph Brewer says, mine keeps getting bigger. Let's I'm happy for you. I really am. Leo's Gaming is here. Mine keeps getting bigger too.
And bigger.
See,
bigger.
See what that was a joke. I made a joke. Get it? So
all right.
Russ,
is this the podcast now?
So Russ,
sneak it up on me. You always sneak it up on me. Hello, everybody.
So Russ,
yeah, what can I do for you, Danger?
Didn't you say that you went to the Pickle Palace?
Yeah, I was at a flea market today, the Englishtown auction in New Jersey, and they had a place, some pickle. I don't remember what it was called. Let's call it the Pickle Palace. That's as good a name as any.
Yeah, they have pickles there.
I hear talking in the background.
Yeah, there is. Just deal with it.
Oh, okay. I thought somebody came into the room because I couldn't imagine there being talking behind you.
Yeah, you couldn't imagine people being in my room. It's like, wait, you don't have any friends? All of your friends are dead.
But I saw a sign while I was there. It made me think of Team Geo.
Oh yeah.
Do you know they there is a kind of pickle called a full sour Canadian.
I do now.
And that I think should be Team Geo's nickname. So
full sour Canadian.
Yeah, so call them that in their chat. Just be like, "Hey, what's up, full sour Canadians?"
Yeah. So
first thing I thought of.
You know what? Don't even wait for them to stream. Send it to them on Twitter, like right now. Just be like, "Hey, full sour Canadians," just at full sour Canadian. I'm sure it'll get to them.
How are my full sour Canadians doing? You know, shit like that.
Well, welcome everybody to the Sick Fist Explosion Play Video Game Podcast.
Yeah,
we're talking about pickles.
Talking about pickles on this video game podcast.
Actually, you know what we are talking about is YouTube. You might have heard of YouTube. Russ, have you ever watched YouTube before?
I feel like I've been there a time or two. Yeah, I've clicked over to YouTube.
You know, sometimes you'll be out on the street, and you'll go around the corner. You know, there's like a pizza. There's a pizza place, but like, you know that like around the corner there's this dude, and you walk down this dark alley and it's kind of shady. You know, like you don't know if somebody's gonna pop out behind you. They're gonna stab you in the kidney.
Right.
And you walk up to this guy and you're like, I need some fucking cat videos right now.
I got you, fam.
And then he's like, first hit's free. In fact, all of them are free. Just watch this ad.
Yeah, but you're gonna watch this ad. No looking away.
If you pay extra, you don't have to watch ads.
You pay extra, you can click to skip it.
But yeah, so this guy, let's just call him Mr. YouTube. He shows you a cat video and you're like, I want more cat videos, and he gives you more cat videos. He gives you all the cat videos. Mm-hmm. But imagine you show up one day, you've got a handful of AdSense, and you're like, I'm ready to watch some cat videos, and he shows you a cat video, but the next video he shows you, it's a fucking seal. It's a seal.
What's the seal doing?
It's clapping or some shit, but I don't give a fuck about seals. I don't give a shit about seals. Okay, I came here for cat videos, and he's showing me a seal. What is this? What is he trying to do? He's trying to like push seal content on me now.
Yeah,
I don't want this shit.
Lace your cat content with seals.
And then he says, you know, I'm like, I didn't want to see a seal video, and he's like, well, I mean, you can next time just ask specifically for a cat video, and I'll give you one.
Yeah, he's actually very reasonable.
Yeah. But so it's like, okay, show me a cat video. Shows you a cat video. Next one, it's a dog slipping around in linoleum floor. You know, what the hell is this? It's a dog? I didn't ask for a dog video. All of a sudden I got a dog video. What is this? I don't like this. It's a slippery slope, Russ. Is what it is.
I know, that's how they get you.
And
you didn't ask for it, but you're gonna take it.
The thing is, like, you know, there's so many cat videos that aren't being watched because people are watching seal videos and dog videos. And they don't want to. They're just watching it because it was the next thing. Right. You know, they're like, I just want my fix, man. And they're watching seals, they're watching dogs. Next thing, it's giraffes. It's a slippery slope. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And, you know, and Mr. YouTube, he's just like, look, I changed things. I'm not going to tell you how I changed things, but I changed it. And, this is just your future now.
Well, then also, I think what happens next is that one day you show up and the guy who used to show you the cat videos and then the seal video and the dog video is a different guy.
Yeah, it's a different guy entirely. And you're like, wait, it's like, are you a cop? And he's like, it's like, if I were a cop, I'd be legally obligated to tell you. You can trust me.
Okay, so clearly he's legit, but it's not the same guy, and no mention is made of it.
Yeah. You know, different guy. And you know, in the cat videos he's showing you, they're different cats now. You know what happened?
They're still cute, but you got attached to those other cats.
Do you know what happened to those other cats?
What happened?
They stopped getting ad views.
So what are those cats doing now?
They're dead.
Oh no!
They're fucking dead.
No. Oh, this is the worst news ever.
They starved to death because they didn't have ad views anymore.
Oh, those poor cats. I really enjoyed those cats.
And I mean, there's new cats now, Russ. Don't
I know, but
who are you to complain right now? You're watching another cat video.
Whatever
sure, it's a
happened to-
different cat, but the old cat, it's gone. You can't.
whatever
you can't
happened
get
to
it back.
loyalty, brand loyalty, you know?
If you like those videos so much, why don't you just go back and watch the old cat videos?
Well, maybe I'll make my own cat videos.
Well, good luck. Is all I'm gonna say.
Oh man, are you saying the cat video market's a hard one to break into and stand out in
Look,
amongst all the competition?
With all the cats out there, what makes you think your cat's any special?
Are you saying that YouTube has created a special section just for cats, and it made everybody want to jump on and start making their own cat videos? So now, good luck.
You know, you can let's call this YouTube cat.
YouTube catting.
YouTube cats. You know, you can watch cat videos at cats.youtube.com.
Oh, that's a good idea, actually. They should get on that. They'll probably make a lot of money.
And, you know, it's the same thing as a regular YouTube. In fact, you watch all the same videos that were on YouTube, but it's got like a different browser look to it.
Right.
You know, and there's a little bar at the bottom that suggests other cats for you. See, this is the solution now. They tweaked things so that, you know, it's starting to show you giraffe things and dog things, but they made this new, let's call it an app. You know, it works well with your phone, and it's got a little bar at the bottom, and you can watch videos based on, you know, their popularity that are specifically cat related content.
Well, you know, it doesn't sound so bad now. It seems like somebody has a chance.
Whoa, hold up there, Russ. Here's the thing. You're looking through all these cat videos. 10 of them are like unlimited cat bucks. Catnip on demand. www.catnip.com. One of them's legit just a dog barking into a camera.
Okay.
Is
he like reacting to anything?
He's reacting to a cat video.
Oh my god. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, it's a cat video that's playing in 75% of the screen, and the other 25% of the screen is just a dog barking at the cat.
Wow.
And then there's like 5 legit cat videos, but there's only 2 people watching them. Honestly, the biggest one is the nursing cat, the cat that's like lactating and feeding the kittens.
Of course, right,
and
right.
Then, yeah, it's just what it is it's a 24-hour cam of a nursing cat feeding its young.
Wow.
And you know, that's the one that gets the views. I mean, they got like a really suggestive thumbnail.
Right, the cat's just like laid out,
and it's titled like
showing its.
It's titled like one more teat at 50 million views.
Wow, at so many subscribers, full nude pics.
Yeah, and all the people that are in the chat are just like they're just saying degrading things to the cat. But the cat doesn't really seem to react in any way. Like, it's not even looking at the chat.
Mm-hmm.
And people keep on throwing money at it. Like, they just keep on donating money to this cat. And it keeps on popping up on screen, like, so-and-so donated, like, $1,200. And, like, the message is, go fuck yourself, you slut cat. Like, somebody paid $1,200 for that. And then... And then people just keep on throwing more. Like, they just keep on trying to up the ante with that guy. Like, so somebody sends like $1,300 and like they're like, "Hey cat, show us your asshole." And then like another person sends like $5,000 and they're like, "I love your videos. You're the most creative person on the planet." And then the next one's $6,000 and they're like, "I want to stab you and choke you to death." Like that. And then
wow.
You know, I don't know if anybody's caught
This is
on. We're
some
talking
dark
actually
shit.
about YouTube gaming. We're not talking about cats at all.
And seed. I was wondering how far we were taking this. Like at first, I thought it was just gonna be a quick thing, and then you know, it was fun. I had fun.
So here on YouTube, it's interesting because YouTube seems like they want to make money. They really seem like they do.
I bet they're very interested in it.
They seem like that is exactly what they want to do. And you know how YouTube makes money?
Advertising.
Yeah, advertising. So when
That's
people
sweet
watch
advertising
videos,
cash.
they watch ads, and YouTube makes money off of those ads. And then the creator also makes a portion of the money from those ads as well.
Right.
But it seems like lately YouTube doesn't want anybody to watch videos anymore. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
I have, and honestly, it's something we kind of wanted to talk about because, you know, as we said, we both sort of make a living through YouTube. Not sort of, we definitely do, 100%.
Yeah. Not necessarily from our channel though. That should be clear. Like we don't make enough on our channel.
Yeah, not from our channel. But my God,
I wish that'd be my dream job.
You know, the cost of living would be incredibly low if we could get by on splitting what our channel makes every month.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, right now I'm taking all of it. And that's
wait a minute. What's happened?
I'm dead poor. Well, I mean, you know about that.
No, I know.
This is not news.
You're dirt poor. You need it.
Yeah, and I mean, hopefully, that's not the case forever.
Right.
But right now, it is, and even then, it's like this can supplement like a quarter of what I actually need to get by.
Yes.
Like, I am glad though that like if it came down to it, I could at least pay my rent.
Right.
Like that's
you'd have
but I have
anything else.
Fucking cheap rent.
You couldn't turn your heat on.
Yeah.
You couldn't eat.
Yeah.
You know, you could go outside and melt some snow so that you have water, but that's about it.
Well, you know, I could melt
you
that
get
snow,
a hot plate,
or I could pack it around my genitals as insulation.
Well, there's that. You can use snow for a lot
It's insulation,
of things. You're gonna have plenty
or
by you.
it's food. It can't be both.
Right. You can do a lot of things with snow up by you. I mean, you're gonna get plenty of it.
But
but that's neither here nor there.
But no, we work for various different channels.
Yeah.
Creating content and whatnot.
Right.
Mostly
Freelance
just taking
type
other
stuff.
people's content and turning it into something better.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about who I work for. They seem to be kind of open with this stuff, but I really haven't talked to them about it, so I won't say who it is. Maybe
I say
one
let
day.
them say it first. You know what I mean? Which could happen one day, but for now. And me, I cannot.
Yeah, you've got a straight up legal form.
Yes, NDA, which is fine because like a lot of I've told that to people before, and they're like, "Oh, that's bullshit," and it's like, no, it's very much the norm. I mean, almost everybody who makes their living on YouTube employs someone, and that's something else we're going to get into. That's
well, see, like there's a
effective.
point on YouTube where if you're spending time to edit your own videos, unless you're like some genius editor that makes the best videos that's ever existed, it doesn't make sense to make your own videos because you're literally losing money by doing that. Like the time that you're spending editing those videos, you could be spending making more content.
Yeah, it just makes financial sense.
Yeah.
It's what you do. And also, that's this country, right? That's the whole idea of that whole trickle down thing. Like, hey, I have the money, now I can employ people.
Yeah.
Like that's what you're supposed to do. That's what keeps things running, and it's a great thing. It gives opportunities to people like us who are freelancers / contractors.
You know, as kind of a sidebar on that whole idea, I desperately want to get to that point where we hire somebody. But
I know
the more editing that I do, and the more shitty editing that I see from other people, the more I realize how demanding I'm going to be of whoever we end up hiring.
Well, that's a good thing. I mean, and same here. Like me, I mean, the two of us together, like we're very good at what we do, and there's a lot of people out there who their idea of editing something together is just play through it once, cut out a few things, kind of do things seemingly at random.
Yeah.
Where like how much you cut out, and then export, and then you're done. Like that's like there is an art to it. as silly as the whole thing can be at times, there is an art to it, and yeah, we would be pretty demanding, but I think that's a good thing. I know of some people who are extremely demanding, like that I respect that. Like, well, actually, I guess there's no need to name names, but some big like YouTubers that I've met are very demanding on their people, and
I'll name one name, and that's just because this guy, it's no secret that he has editors.
Okay.
Quebblecop.
Yes, that was one I was thinking of,
he
for sure.
absolutely started off editing his own videos, and he's very good editor. And if you ever watch Quebblecop's videos, and like if you're a first time starting up YouTuber, and you're like, oh, what do I need to do to be good at making videos? Watch his videos, and then compare that to your videos, and be like, all right, what am I doing wrong?
Mm-hmm.
But he has a very high standard for videos.
And it shows. I mean, that's part of why he's,
I don't work for Quebblecop, by the way.
Yeah, that's we're picking people we do not work for to use examples. Yeah. But yeah, he's what the hell was that?
Oh, I was zipping up my hoodie.
You can't see right me, but I can
see you. Yeah,
I can see you 30 seconds later.
Yeah, I'm just hitting that zipper.
Just picturing looking over and seeing your cam real quick. Just like stand up, put your fly right in front of the camera.
It's my hoodie. I'm not doing that. Where even were we with this whole conversation?
All right. Well, look, we were talking about our jobs. We're talking about what we do. We talk about how hopefully one day we'd like to be able to hire somebody. That's obviously way down the line, but whenever it gets to that point, that would be a good place to be.
Well, that's why these changes worry me so much.
Right.
Because
and that's what we really want to get into.
And around 2013, YouTube also did a change like this where they told no one, and like completely revamped how they do everything, how the YouTube search algorithm works. More specifically.
And people found out at the time, and I remember because at the time I worked for Indie Mogul, and Griffin picked up on it and talked about it. The guy that I used to do the channel with, and he did a whole video about it, like what was going on, what was happening, like and how. That's how I knew it was even happening, is because Griffin was like, they're changing up the algorithm. I mean, we at the time. Okay, well, we at the time knew more stuff that was going on because when I worked at Indie Mogul, it was owned by YouTube. So technically, like that was like our boss. Like it was like, who do you work for? YouTube. And then people are like, oh, what channel? You're like, no, YouTube. That's what we work for. So like we knew about certain things, and that was he just knew more about it because of that.
Yeah.
And he did do a talk about it, but it's weird to look back at that now, and it's like, yeah, that wasn't so bad.
Well. It wasn't so bad because you weren't an animator.
Okay, yes, good point.
Okay, so before 2013, animation on YouTube was a big thing. It was a big deal. Mm-hmm. And there were a lot of channels that were based entirely around animation. And honestly, I really liked animation on YouTube. Like, it was all very original. And it was, like, you could watch a cartoon and realize one guy made that. Like, so anyone could make a cartoon. And people would see it. Well, YouTube changed up their YouTube search algorithm, and it favored longer videos with more engagement. Videos that had a longer runtime had a longer average watch time,
right?
So on and so forth.
That was a big time they wanted people to sit down at YouTube and stay for a while. That was that time where they were like, this is what we want out of YouTube. We want people to not just watch a video and leave. We want them here for a while. And that was a big part of that. So a guy that, like, especially if they weren't like at the top tier already, they found themselves in a situation where they were like, hey, I can quit my job and pay my rent and maybe do this full time and make a name for myself as an animator with my new animation show, to suddenly being like, oh, fuck, I made $5 this month. Yeah. Yep. And
YouTube just basically whipped out both middle fingers. And just said, fuck you, animators, or anyone that makes a 5-minute video.
Yeah, and that's something that has started to come up recently. This has become it's come up again, like because I guess now it's being affected even worse than it was before, and especially short videos. And it's kind of it started to be going public, I think, when PewDiePie made his video a couple months ago.
Yeah,
like that's when word first started getting out there that something was up, because it had been talked about. Like I was at when they did their whole YouTube gaming launch at E3 back in 2015.
Oh, what a day that was.
Oh, everybody was very happy, but there were some people with reservations, especially me, because I had worked for YouTube before. I knew how they worked. And I'm honestly not at all surprised at where we are now, or where they are now, with the community and people's reactions to what they've done. But now people are starting bigger names. I mean, PewDiePie, obviously the biggest on YouTube, bringing it up is one thing. A few days ago, H3H3 made a video, and now I think it's starting to become more talked about. And I think it's good that it is, because it's not just, I think your average person thinks of this sort of thing as affecting, like they see PewDiePie, it's like, what does he care? What, he's going to make $5 million instead of $7 million this year? Boo-hoo. But
well, it might be more like 2 million instead of 7 million. Which
Let's
is still
what
a
your
lot.
Average person, what your average person thinks of as far as the drop goes.
Especially if like you're a growing channel. Like we've definitely seen the hit. Unfortunately, the hit happened right about on the time when we expected it to happen, because it was like going back to school time, and we're like, okay, the summer's over. Let's expect a drop in views. And then the rise of like new subscribers just never came back. Most channels, they depend on suggested videos. So suggested videos being the videos in the sidebar, and it's like, if you like this one, check this out. Well, instead of finding relevant videos, it's like, okay, so you watch this one channel all the time. Here's one that's very similar. Instead, it'll be like, watch this ISIS video where this guy gets his head cut off.
You're like, I'm pretty sure my browsing history. I'm pretty sure my browsing history shouldn't lead me to beheading. Like that's fucked up.
Yeah,
like, I don't like this one bit. Also, shouldn't they have taken that down by now? Come on.
And what a lot, like most big channels, medium-sized channels, maybe even some small channels, depend on a huge amount of suggested videos, usually within 50 to 60% of their total views. 50 to 60% make up their total views of suggested videos. The rest is like their subscriber feed and so on and so forth. Now, these days, on average, people are seeing, instead of 50 or 60% suggested videos, they're seeing like 2.
Yeah. Like it's been a huge drop.
Yeah.
For everyone.
Like exceptional drop. I mean, even on our channel, like over the summer, things were great. There was one month where we almost got 3,000 subscribers in a month.
Yeah, which is huge at our
which we
level.
would have if it weren't for like the YouTube purge that purged like 700 subscribers out. But even still, we still got like 2,800 net gain.
Right.
But now, holy shit, dude! It's like we're not even making videos.
It's true. It's stagnated a lot. Like there's been days here and there where it's like, oh, things seem like they're coming around today. Like, and I'm not just saying for us, I'm saying for every YouTuber we talk to, where they all start going like, hey, did you notice? Like, actually, today was a good day. Yeah. And then like a day or two later, it's right back to the same old stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like, holy Jesus Christ. It's something, I don't know where it came from, but I heard a donation.
Oh, you heard a donation?
I didn't see. Oh, it's because it's right in the red area.
Oh no! All right, well here I'm gonna look it up.
It was Notorious Bean. I can't see
Notorious
it.
Bean.
Hold on, I gotta pull up the thing. This part I'm gonna have to edit out of the
you edit
audio
this part
podcast.
out later. But, hey, while he's doing that, hi everybody. If you're just joining us and haven't been here from the beginning, this is us when we record the podcast, so we don't go to the comments so much. But once we finish with the podcast portion, we'll be able to talk to you guys some more.
Says haven't been on the chat because I've been working. Well, you know what? That's you got to work. You gotta work,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, you gotta. I'm glad. And hey, podcasts are great for when you're working.
Yeah.
That used to get me through the day when I had a real job.
What was I literally just talking about?
I can't remember exactly. Real quick, I just also want to shout out Retnex, who he was like, "Oh, what do you guys look for?" And he was like bringing up various things. Retnex is a talented guy. That would be one of those like.
Yeah.
It'd be great if one day we're like, we can hire somebody, and the Retnex is like, here's my resume, because he did that. He did that Dead by Daylight video.
Yeah,
that was so great.
Source film animation. That was really good.
Yeah. Oh, and Lennon B, don't worry, we'll get to the clickbait. Clickbait will come up.
Clickbait.
He's been pushing clickbait. All right, so
Lennon B has been pushing clickbait.
Yeah. Now pretend like this last minute didn't happen, so you can cut it together and go ahead. Danger.
I literally don't know what we were talking about a minute ago.
I mean, okay, we were talking about the YouTube thing. Let's
that's the whole thing.
Yeah. You ever do that where you hope to jog somebody's memory by mentioning the most basic thing? And they'll go, "Oh yeah, of course, this is what I was talking about."
I wish I could just roll it back and remember what the hell I was talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway, sub counts being low because of suggested videos. Not, I don't understand. I don't understand why they would want to do that. It seemed like it was only beneficial for everyone, for people to be suggested videos that they are likely to watch.
Yeah.
Is that not true, or?
It would make sense. I saw a comment. This isn't even from a YouTuber. This is from like somebody commenting on one of their one of the videos that somebody had posted complaining about this. But it's something like some think that they're trying to push new channels. Like they're trying to only.
Which channels are those?
Well, then there's some talk that they're just pushing the ones who pay them. Like, hey, feature me. Which. Okay. Some people have caught some shit for. I won't name names, but there are some channels out there, some that have grown considerably.
How much does it cost?
Last couple weeks.
How much?
I know, right? But
I'll buy it.
I saw and again, these are just accusations. Yeah. I don't know if they're true, but they were like, "Oh, this person has been paying YouTube to put this video out there everywhere." And it got
that's called AdWords, though. Like that's not a weird thing. That should be forever.
But that should be a separate thing. Like from recommended videos, like, I mean,
it's just popping up as a recommended video.
Yeah, it was popping up for me, and I'm like, why would this come up? Like, I saw it.
I don't care about this ISIS beheading.
Yeah, this is not for me.
I've already watched it 4 times.
But yeah, we
and like you were mentioning PewDiePie before about how he did a great video about like the 10-minute barrier. Like if your video is under 10 minutes, like if it's 9 minutes 59 seconds, it'll get like a fraction of the views as if it was 1 second longer.
Right.
And now it's even what's going on now, he's not privy to. Like number one guy on YouTube, he doesn't have the answers still.
Yeah.
Because like I forget how long ago it was, but H3H3 was talking about it. It's like poor fucking PewDiePie. He puts out a video like apologizing to his fans because he thinks that his fans hate him because like people aren't like significantly less people are watching him. And it's just not the case. It's just YouTube's fucking with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people use the front page of YouTube and the suggested area. I've never been that guy. I've always used my subscription tab. Am I weird?
Yeah, kind of. You're old school.
I am. That's
you're an old soul.
That used to be how you saw videos. Is you used your subscription tab, and I guess. Yeah, I mean, I always see the videos I intend to see because I use my subscription tab. But I guess a lot of people don't do that, and they just hope that the front page of YouTube just shows them something that they're subscribed to that they haven't seen yet, I guess. Are you like that? Are you one of those people, Russ?
No, I mean, like, I kind of am a mix of both, I guess. But like, generally, I'm even more old school. I just know the channels I want to go to, and I go to them. Like,
You do a Google
directly
search
there.
every single time. You're like,
No, I just
dear Google, could you please direct me to the latest Devon Supertramp video? Thank you. Sincerely, Russell.
could you direct me where I would like to go? The channel is I'm like, oh shit, I've forgotten all the channels I like.
But yeah, I mean, basically, if you don't do that, then I guess fuck you. Then this is what YouTube wants to say.
Yeah, and here's where I think we have a unique viewpoint of this, and where I think more people need to realize, because like there are a lot of comments about where it's just that sort of attitude of go fuck yourself, you successful asshole. Like you're fine,
yeah.
Quit complaining. I work 80 hours a day. And I never sleep, and I get paid shit, and I live in a shack.
You're describing my life, Russ.
Yeah,
and I make videos on YouTube.
Yeah,
I've
but that's
never been the
been
person to shit on somebody's success just because I don't have it.
Yeah,
the exact opposite, actually. Like when everyone was jumping on the fuck PewDiePie bandwagon because they're like, all he does is scream into a webcam. It's like he does more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't hate. You know,
well, generally
looking at him and I'm like, what can I do to be just like him?
Well, it's like all things entertainment is that, you know, your average person, and it makes sense, obviously. I'm not saying that this is wrong, but it's like your average person just sees the final product. They don't care, like they don't give any thought beyond that usually.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you got to understand, like there's a lot of people being affected. It's not when a channel starts, when their business drops to like 10-20% of what it used to be, it's like that's not just the person on screen being affected. That's, you know, it's people like myself in danger, but also like dozens of other people at least that I know of, and I'm sure that's just the ones that I've met who work for others and that I know. So like there's a lot of people out there who make their living through this, and I've seen other kinds of channels shutting down already, like ones that are non-gaming channels that were affected by things. Like they're fucked. I remember, I can't even remember what the channel was, but it was earlier this year. There was a channel that had been around since YouTube began, and not just like the channel, but like the show that they did on the channel. It was car related in some way. And they were shut down. Same host, everything from the beginning. They were shut down because like, nope, they don't make anything anymore. They don't make money for the channel anymore. It's like that was a powerhouse of a place like that, employed a fuck ton of people.
Man, I
wish I could remember the name of the channel. I just remember it was
I'm surprised that you know about it, because it is a card channel.
I knew about it because it was somebody that I know met this person earlier this year, and then later in the year they got shut down. It was just like, so that's the only reason I knew the name at all. And I remember looking up, going, that guy seemed kind of funny. Let me look up their channel, and seeing the farewell YouTube like video, like, oh, I've had to do one of those before. I know what that's like.
How was that?
Very depressing.
Oh man,
extremely depressing.
It's like being laid off, but having to inform thousands of people about it.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, can you do your job one more time and tell everyone that you don't have a job anymore?
Like, oh boy, yeah, that was for those again who are new. That was me when I was at Indie Mogul, and Griffin and I had to do that. I'm pretty short. The whole process was very quick. It was like, hey, you guys are fired at the end of this month.
It was
okay.
Yeah. I remember it because
get a video together.
Because 1 second you're like, all right, let's I don't know, meet up for GTA later. Then like 10 minutes later, you're like. Oh yeah, by the way, I just found out that I'm going to have a lot more time to edit videos now.
Yeah. I'm going to be around. So, yay, Snake Fist Explosion.
Back when we edited videos.
Yeah, the old days.
Yeah, man. It's funny because like that's how we got jobs, and then and now that we have jobs, we don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until then that people started liking us.
You know what? Yeah, right. Hey, Danger, would you like to take a look? I have them up too. And what the people on Twitter are saying, are
Well,
asking
actually,
us.
I was going to bring up
Oh,
this kind of
okay.
segues into the next thing is we I don't know if you know this, Russ, but we're live.
What?
Yeah.
Well,
Did you not get the notification?
I gotta look better. No, I didn't. I didn't get the notification.
Oh,
My phone didn't buzz. Maybe it'll buzz
it didn't
later.
buzz. Oh my God,
when
Russ!
this thing goes live, when it's done.
Because that's a thing that happens, Russ. Is YouTube just sometimes just doesn't notify people that we're going live, despite the fact that they want to be notified that we're going live. Like,
I mean, they hit the little bell icon, right? Like they've hit the button that says.
They might have hit the bell,
and they still don't get
they might have slapped the bell. But I put out a poll earlier today just to see. The question was, does YouTube regularly notify you when we go live?
Okay.
And you know what? 39% of people said most of the time. That's pretty good.
Okay,
Russ.
that is the highest percentage.
Said most of the time.
Of all the choices.
That's got to be followed up by an overwhelmingly high number of always, right? Like people that are like, yeah, it always tells me. Super reliable.
You would hope it would work.
That notification app, no, that's actually the at 22% of people say always. Still not bad. What's the math on that, Russ? That's what, like
we're now at 61% of people.
61% of people know that we're going live. That's pretty good. Except for like 31% say only sometimes.
Yeah. And well, let's also do the rest of the math, because 8% say never, right?
Yeah.
So if we look at this, we put together only sometimes and never, the two negative ones. They equal most of the time. Like it's 39 to 39 if you put the negative responses together.
And most of the time just means the majority of the time they get a notification.
Not even every time, just most of the time.
Enough so that they're not too mad about it. And there was a lot of comments that followed this. Like people wrote back, if I could just fucking open it. Oh, come on.
Open it, Danger. We're live.
I'm trying to open it, Russ. I'm trying to do it.
Since we are live, Tekinator says that he just got the notification for this stream 3 minutes ago.
Wow.
YouTube.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
So here's the thing. A lot of people have been saying this, is that the only reason that they said most of the time is because recently being like as of like a month or two ago at best, they started getting regular notifications. Busa said that.
Okay.
Let's see. I think Joseph Brewer said it. Yeah, Joseph Brewer said 3 weeks ago he started getting them. And there's a few more I know. I can't see them right now. But that's people that would have answered differently if it weren't for the last like month or so.
Right.
So like something changed the last month or so. Now they're mostly getting them on time.
I guess that's a good thing, but it's still not the most encouraging news.
And then the rest of the comments is Joe Grimes says, oh, that's Jerome Cardenas, actually. I didn't even realize. Says most of the times it notifies like 30 minutes into the stream. Like we're already live for 30 minutes. All of a sudden he's like, oh, hey, they're live. And that's most people. Most people get notified like long after we're live. Some people get notified when we're ending the stream.
That's so goddamn annoying.
Here's the thing. I just don't understand, because it's all a system that runs on time, like there's no reason that it shouldn't show up immediately. Like,
right.
We hit start, we're live. It's not like we have to wait for us to start. It's not like it's like sitting there, like YouTube's like, hold on, I'm thinking about it. This will start soon. Even though that has happened a couple times.
Yeah.
It's all it has to do is push the fact that we are live to everyone that said, tell us that they're live.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of work. Being facetious.
It's one bit of information.
I know. It's
a yes or no. And if it's no, it doesn't send. But if it's a yes, it should send. And that's it.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Anyway, this is our lives, people.
This is our lives now.
So, and stuff like this kind of worries me because, like, we're still growing, and I want to continue growing, but YouTube just isn't making it easy these days.
It's true. They really don't. If only we had a shit ton of money to throw at advertising, apparently.
Well, if I did, like, let's say all of a sudden I'm like, hey, I won the lottery. I've got $1 million. Let's spend it on advertising. We got, overnight, we go from where we are now to, 2 million subscribers because we bought the shit out of them.
Jesus.
And then we get there and we're still doing the same exact numbers because it's not suggesting our goddamn videos and it's not notifying people when you go live. What's the point at that point?
I can barely afford to keep my hot tub filled with champagne.
Hot champagne.
Yeah. Sip.
This hot tub champagne is too hot. It's comfortable on my skin, but not refreshing to drink in any way.
There would be those who would have that attitude about it. Like, oh, poor babies. It's like,
yeah, but I can turn that. Here, be that guy, Russ. Oh man, I've been working on videos all day and nobody's watching them, and it took me 18 hours to make that video.
Oh, boo-hoo, Mr. Richman makes his living talking into his computer.
I'm sorry to offend you, sir. What do you do for a living?
I work at the train yard.
Oh, the local watches trains drive by all day, makes $18 an hour. Oh, my taxes are taken out of my salary, so I don't have to pay them all in one lump sum at the end of the year.
That's true, but I don't make $18 an hour. That's ridiculous. I make just above minimum wage. It's a very bad life.
I make minimum wage. I can expect a paycheck at the end of the 2 weeks.
You're just talking into your CRT
monitor. My employer's
monitor
required to pay me on time. I get paid more than once a month, and I know it's coming to me because if it doesn't, I'll go to the Department of Labor.
Shit's getting real.
Sir, do you so you go to a place to work, right?
I mean, yes, the train yard.
Right. So when you're at home, nobody expects you to still be working, right?
No, that's my
when you're home watching TV, nobody comes by and says, "Hey, what's the status on that train, fucker?"
No, my God, when I get home, that's my 4 to 5 hours a day to relax.
Oh. So you don't just sit in front of your computer every waking moment and work, and then fall asleep at your desk, and then wake up and work again. You don't do that, is what you're saying.
That is one thing I miss about before, working just doing YouTube stuff in 2013, or 2011. That's when I started doing all videos work all the time. Is just that hour between waking up and getting to work.
Yeah.
When you could wake up a bit, drink some coffee, and then do your job. When your job is you roll out of bed and walk downstairs, it's nope.
I don't even do that.
Yeah, that's right.
I am one step away from... I sleep over there! I'm one step away. My phone, I've got a Galaxy S5, and it tracks your your health, It's got a pulse thing on the back. It can measure your blood pressure. Tells you how many steps you've taken in a day. Every single day it says between 0 and 1.
You can roll. You can get through your life rolling.
I could
you don't have to
literally
walk.
fall to work. And you know what? This is only because I moved to my desktop to work. I used to just lay down with my laptop. And I got terrible backaches from that. And I just thought I was going to die,
right,
so...
Yeah. Like, oh man, I got to make my heart work a little. Just a little bit. Right, danger. Why don't we address the Twitter questions?
I was actually gonna go and take a look. I don't
Perfect.
actually, because I didn't put any questions out there. I was just gonna read the old questions from the last podcast. But there are questions.
Yeah, Jessica Howe has some quite a few that came in. Joseph Brewer.
Hey, I'm gonna start with Joseph Brewer.
Okay.
Oh, good. There's a dog outside my door.
Excellent. You know that'll happen.
Do you hear the dog? Just barking away.
It's weird to hear a dog that's not coming through when the dog's in Christine's room
barking
that
at me
barks
through my door. So I'm gonna start with Joseph Brewer. He says, "What type of PC do you guys have?"
I'll
start with you.
A built one.
Yeah.
I have an old 3rd gen i7, the 3770K.
Yeah, I've got the same.
I really need to
processor.
upgrade. Yeah, I really need to upgrade mine. I'm thinking about it this year.
See,
finally,
the thing is, like, you can buy a pre-built computer, and it's for what we have. It probably cost us like just under $4,000, I would imagine. Like if it was brand new, like now it's not worth any of that. Like you could pick it up at a fucking thrift store for $75 probably.
Yeah.
But
fucking computers.
But we constantly have to upgrade our stuff because like we need powerful graphics cards, we need a good CPU. We need a lot of memory. So, I mean, I've always built my own computers. Like my first computer, I built it. I didn't know how to build computers. I didn't know shit about computers. My friend knew something about computers and he told me, "Yeah, you can just build them. You can buy the parts online and build it." And I'm like, "Okay." I somehow convinced my mom to spend $500 on computer parts.
Right.
And it was a Cyrix 686 processor, which is a Pentium 2 equivalent. Like it was.
Yeah, holy shit.
It was a Pentium 2, but it ran on the x86 infrastructure.
The 686.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day just expecting every computer like, wow, I have a 486. I hear they're making a 586. I bet one day we'll be at like 1086.
I thought that too. But yeah, it was a time when so the big processors back then was Intel, of course. They had their Pentium processors. There was AMD who had the Athlons, which was actually the second computer I built, an AMD Athlon K7. And AMD was faster than Intel back then. Mm-hmm. And then there was Cyrix, and Cyrix isn't around anymore. But AMD and Intel are.
I'm looking up Cyrix. I'd never even heard of Cyrix.
It was a 232
I found them. Jeez.
Megahertz processor, 232 megahertz processor.
Okay.
I had a whopping 32 megabytes of RAM.
Wow.
And a 14.4 modem.
What?
Yeah. And a Sound Blaster Pro 16-bit sound card. And integrated graphics.
Wow.
It had I don't know if that had a 2 gig hard drive or not. I think it was still in megabytes. I think it was like a 512 megabyte hard drive.
I remember having a 2 gig hard drive and then getting my first game that was like, if you want to do the full install, it takes 4 gigs of space. And I was like, no!
How could that amount of space exist?
It was the X-Files game.
Wow.
If you wanted to copy the entire game to the hard drive.
But yeah, so I've always built my own computers, with the exception of laptops, of course.
Oh, of course.
My current computer, actually, I did buy what my computer started off as, which was an HP Pavilion something or other. had an AMD processor in it and integrated graphics. And I've literally replaced everything except for the hard drive, which is my secondary hard drive now. Like not like the power supply, the case, motherboard, processor, the memory, video card, everything is different except for, but it's like that thing. Like if you take apart a ship but you take all like the old boards off of a ship, but replace them with new boards. And you get to the point where you replace all the boards. Is it still the same ship?
Oh my God, it's a conundrum.
And then if you took all the old boards and assembled those, would you just have two of the same ship?
Oh my God.
That's what my computer is. Because I could assemble all the parts from my old computer, and then that would just be like, which one is the real one? But anyways, yeah, for us, that's like a necessity. Like if we didn't build our own computers, we would spend thousands and thousands of dollars every year on computers. Instead, we only spend thousands and thousands of dollars on computer parts.
Yeah, it's going to happen again very soon.
Yeah.
I like, let's look at one of
Jessica's I'm looking right now. From Jessica Howe, if you could create a live streaming platform for gaming, what would you call it? I honestly wouldn't, because there's too many already.
Yeah, God, I couldn't even. I called it .io.
I guess my house guests are no longer here because now the dog's barking.
Why don't you keep that dog company?
I know, right? I was getting to sleep this morning at like 9 o'clock, and
like you do,
and they wake me up to inform me that they're leaving. I'm like, thanks, and they're like, the dog might start barking, but don't worry about it. And literally the whole time I was asleep, just well, trying to sleep. So like 3 o'clock in the afternoon rolls around. Finally, it shuts up. I don't know. It's a troubled dog. Anyways, yeah, I really. I mean, here's the thing about creating a live streaming platform. It's bound to fail. There's too many juggernauts.
Yeah,
so
there's some other ones that I wish we could work on. That was it.
Hitbox?
What's that big one recently? Hitbox is one. There's one that started coming up recently that I think Microsoft bought.
What?
Microsoft gaming site. Let me see. I don't know if it was Microsoft. Some big company bought. Was it Beam?
Oh right, Beam.
Yeah, Beam. Beam bought by Microsoft. There it is. Beam.pro. That's the one. And everything I've seen on that channel. I love the way it looks. I love all the features they have. I wish it could become big, but it's never going to, it seems.
Yeah.
And that's disappointing.
So I kind of feel the same way about Hitbox. Like I couldn't imagine, like I'll probably never go to Hitbox for any reason. And I couldn't imagine being just a casual user of the internet and being like, what's this Hitbox thing? And then going over there and being like, I like this now. Because there's just like, there's no segue to it. Like, there's no way to be like Twitch has been around long enough that like people know about Twitch. And everybody knows about YouTube.
Right.
But what the fuck is Hitbox?
Yeah, I forgot it existed until you just mentioned it just now.
And same thing with Beam. You know what's confusing about Beam is that there's already a video platform called Beam, but it's spelled differently. It's BEME.
Oh, I thought that was supposed to be like Beamy or something.
Nah, it's called Beam.
Just Beam. Okay.
It does make more sense to call it Beamy. But yeah, no, that's Casey Neistat's company is Beam, and it's more of a vlogging platform.
Right.
Like that. It's I wouldn't even know how to describe it. Basically, it's like vlogging, but it's entirely different. I don't know, but
You know,
I mean,
there's
like even with all of his clout, like I can't imagine that going much further than it already has. To be honest,
it's true. It's not easy thing to break into.
I mean, it's hard enough just breaking into doing it. You know, we tried Twitch a little while ago, back in the day.
That was the first thing we tried streaming on.
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, it wasn't fun at all. It was very bad.
Yeah, it was.
Of course, we were also running through our hop hogs at the time.
It was
much
true,
different.
Yes,
much different way we were doing it. There's quite a few. You know, we've got quite a few other good questions. There's a few I think that could be answered pretty quickly.
All right.
Here's one from Neil Sanderson. If you could live anywhere in the world for free, where would it be?
Amsterdam.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. For me, it would be Manhattan, and that's my favorite place in the world. I'm like one of those old Robert De Niro credit card commercials.
Well, why don't you just move there, Russ?
I would. If it was free. If it was free, I'd be there right now.
Somebody who lives in Manhattan, give Russ a place to live for free.
I'd be in so much better shape. I would just walk constantly. What do you want to do
and make
today?
sure he has a high-speed internet package.
Well, that is one problem.
And
I'd have
feed
to do
him too.
Yeah, make it all free.
We'll be waiting for your response.
Yeah. Oh, it's my favorite place in the
actually,
world.
good follow-up question from Jessica. Okay. How if YouTube failed you big time, would you ever transfer to Twitch or Beam? And
yeah, I think so. I would say
definitely
yes.
something I've been considering lately. Like, it's. I mean, it means starting over, is what it means.
Well, I wouldn't ever want to give up on YouTube. I mean, that's where everybody is. Like, if anything, it would be, now we'll also simulcast to some other thing, like Twitch or something.
But I mean, that's kind of what happened in 2013. For whatever reason. I forget what the real reason was, because this was gamers. They weren't migrating because of the animation thing, but I think it was Content ID. Like people were making a big deal about Content ID.
Yeah,
and people were getting like channels deleted and stuff, and they're like, "Fuck this! I'm going to somewhere where they'll never care about my Content ID." And they went to Twitch, and then like a month later, Twitch is like, "We have our own Content ID system."
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot of people who did that, like Eat My Diction. He was a rising YouTuber in the early 2011, 2012 era. He was one of those like 3-a-day gaming video guys. Made thousands of videos. I used to watch a lot of his videos. He doesn't do as many anymore. He still makes videos, but like around that time, he's like, I'm going to Twitch, and he's been doing Twitch ever since.
How's he liking it?
I guess he likes it.
Do we know?
I
guess he's still there.
See, I don't watch Twitch. Like, I'm subscribed to him. I get notifications every time. See, that's the thing. Every time somebody goes live on Twitch, if you're following them, you know it. They notify me every time. I used to watch Sacriel on Twitch, and I haven't unsubscribed from him, but I haven't watched his videos in years. Every single day, I know when he goes live. I get an email about it. Same thing with Sips from the Yogs cast. I probably only watched one of his live streams. I followed him. Get notifications every single day.
How is that possible?
You know, Twitch just has access to technology that YouTube hasn't discovered yet. Like email lists. You know, I know this is really confusing to you, Russ. The fact that Twitch can send emails to people when an event is triggered where somebody goes live, and it notifies people that they are live. And
what?
Calm down, Russ. Calm down. You're likely to give yourself a seizure.
Chad, why not?
Never heard of him.
Why does it burn when I pee? And Panda also
Why
asks,
doesn't Chad come in here and tell us himself.
Well, here, hang on. He might be setting something up right now. Let's just put it that way. But Panda also asks, why does it burn when Chad pees? And asking Google, a burning sensation with urination can be caused by infectious, including sexually transmitted infections or STDs such as chlamydia and gonorrhea, and non-infectious conditions, but is most commonly due to bacterial infection of the urinary tract affecting the bladder. There you go, Chad.
So it might be a UTI. That checked out.
Yeah.
Got yourself a UTI.
Let's see. What do we got here? How did you guys meet? You know, people ask how we meet a lot, but how did you guys meet PD Pan Mofo? Unknown Saiyan is asking.
You know, I seem to remember PD Pan watched our stream a lot, and he was always in the chat. And then we'd do races, and we're like, "Hey, that's the same name as that guy in the chat." And then like he just started showing up on our races. And we're like, "Hey, that's that guy from the chat, and the guy whose name is on that race."
Yeah, it's like we should have him in.
There was several streams worth of time where he was in races but not in the chat with us.
Right.
And then finally we're like, why don't we have him in the chat?
We're playing his stuff. It made sense.
So we brought him in,
and a beautiful love was born.
Yeah. I mean, you still don't know if he's in the chat or not sometimes, but
oh, right. I mean, that's just Petey's way.
Petey will tend to like he'll just shut up for a while, and you'll forget that he's there, and then he says something, and it scares the shit out of you.
He'll say something, you just hear, yeah.
Who's that?
What? But he's good. He's sneaky that way.
Feels just like the old days sometimes.
Sneaky one. Oh, Lennon B is asking, how do y'all feel about clickbait and paid views on YouTube?
Okay. So, paid views, I don't know anything about what you were talking about before, about like people paying YouTube directly and then like getting special treatment. But one of our first videos, the pirate battle, we bought advertising on that.
It was expensive. Some like credit or something, right? Like
I bought a website and they gave me like they sent me $150 credit like 4 different times, and I just used all of them. But see, it was good for us because when we started doing that, we had like, I don't know, 500 subscribers maybe. And then by the end, we like in a month's time, we had 2,000 subscribers.
Right.
But I'll always say that like, even though like that gave us a good boost in the beginning, like it didn't actually give us an advantage.
Right.
Because like a lot of the people that saw it, they didn't necessarily stick around. They saw the pirate battle, but they didn't stay to watch anything else.
Yeah.
So like it's hard to measure how beneficial it was, but it was something that we did early on to reach a larger audience, and in some ways it worked, and in some ways it didn't. No regrets though. So
yeah, no regrets.
When it comes to buying advertisement, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
I think what's happening now is that, and again, I could be wrong, this is just my interpretation of the complaints that I've seen and the way it looks, is that what we did, people understood it was advertising. It was presented as, hey, here's an ad, and it's a video by these guys.
Yeah.
Whereas now people are basically doing exactly what we did, but it's being presented as, hey, I think you might like this video. Which can, in place of what it used to do, where it actually recommended videos that made sense.
Yeah.
That seems to be the complaint now. So that's what I'm taking from it. What do we got?
Who did this?
Who did what?
Just who did it? I want to know, Russ. Who did this?
I don't know. Honestly, from what I've heard, it is the YouTube algorithm is now so fucked that it's just been a combination of everybody adding shit and trying shit, and it's now at a completely incomprehensible point. This is what I've heard. This is the allegedly.
That sounds accurate.
Yeah, it's just now at a point where nobody, not even the people who have been creating it and adding to it, understand it anymore.
And like, I understand the need to change things up from time to time, like as far as like waiting how searches work and stuff like that. Because if it works the same way for too long, people start gaming the system.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we got really good at knowing how the search algorithm worked.
Well, do you remember? That's true, but do you remember what one of the first things they went after was? And it was actually like it was a good thing. It was a thing that I was glad to see them stop. Was those reaction videos?
Oh, like Ariana, whatever her name is.
Yeah, that one girl, the reaction girl or whatever her name was, who made the worst videos ever.
Video
one
response
of the worst things that ever
videos. YouTube used
response
to have
girl. Yeah. Video response girl. Something like that. Yeah.
So YouTube used to have the option to make a response video. So like you'd watch a video and it was always like, you know, a big video, like I don't know, you did Gundam Style, you know.
Here's what I think about Gangnam Style. I watched it and you know what? It's pretty good. It's a pretty good video. I didn't totally understand it. I don't know what Gangnam is, but it's funny. End of video. That was what.
Here's my opinion about the response video to Gangnam Style. I didn't actually watch it, but later on, I'm doing a twerk show at the link in the description, and I'll be twerking all night for money.
Yeah, it's about right. That is about right. And do you remember when Video Response Girl initially, like, this is just real quick, how she put up like a video defending herself, like, no, I'm still gonna make videos, and I am not popular just because I'm gaming the system. And that was the last anybody heard of her, really.
She seemed like a nice girl. I kind of felt bad for her a little bit because like she was just taking advantage of a system like anyone else would. But she didn't really know how that was going to backfire on her.
Yeah. It didn't help that she then tried to like be like, no, this is not true. This is not what I'm doing. It's like, yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Just admit it.
Yeah. I wonder where she's at now.
I just tried looking up Video Response Girl. I couldn't find her. So who knows?
Using the YouTube search algorithm, I'm sure. You were unable to search for
I think we gotta wrap things up soon.
Oh,
but
do we?
Let's get a few more questions in. Let's try and keep them quick.
Hey,
Moira,
I like this question from Leah
Roberts.
Go for it.
If
you could make any game, what would it be?
You know what? And then I'll also attach that to Jessica Howe saying, what type of games would you create knowing all the games you have played in the past? Because I have the same answer to both. Go ahead.
No, okay.
I have always wanted to because growing up it was my favorite kind of game, and I still play them as a old style point and click adventure. Like my favorites being like the Monkey Island series back in the day. There's been some great ones recently, like Techno Babylon. That was one that you also played, Danger. One of my favorite games of all time is called Full Throttle, and they're currently working on an HD remake of it. Day of the Tentacle, there is an HD remake out there. I recommend it for everyone. That's the kind of stuff, if I could make anything, I would make. And Chad and you and I all kind of discussed this, and we're like, we would like to do this. So we've actually started looking into the tools that it takes to make something like that.
The big thing's time.
Yeah. And you know what? That would be something to work on with our free time if this was ever actually like
if we had free time.
And if the channel was ever actually like our main source of income, it would be like, hey, we got a little time.
You know, I've wanted to make a game for a long time, and I can never decide on one thing, you know. So my answer is 100 different things. So okay. I really couldn't answer this question. I got to be honest, because like I wanted to make this game that would basically be like a combination of DayZ and Mad Max, where like it would have like soft body physics damage. So like, you know, if you hit like a tree or something with a car, like the frame would actually bend. You could damage like car parts, and you'd have to actually take like the motor apart and like repair things, and like you'd go around to like, it wouldn't be like most survival games where there'd be like cars that you can drive and then cars that are just props. Like everything would potentially be a car that you could drive, but each one would have like different working parts on it.
Yeah.
So you'd have to basically rummage through an entire junkyard's worth of broken cars to find like a cylinder head that wasn't warped or something, like
Right.
to find a radiator that wasn't leaking and like mangle together this fucking car that runs, and then somebody might just come up and like ram you anyway. And like you're like, well, no, the car's fucked. But because like there's so much work involved in it, like people would be less likely, I think, to just troll. But then again,
as long as you could keep hackers out,
that's true.
Hackers would make that game miserable. But as if you could solve that problem, I think you'd be in a good spot. I do like the idea.
I'd like to offer as like, a lot of these survival games don't offer the option for like a private server.
Nice. Yeah, that would be a good idea.
And that's like the best way. Because like, I hate going into a game where it's like, it's a one server game, like the open lobbies in GTA. Like you go there, you're just going to get hacked. Somebody's going to shoot money at you. Rockstar is going to ban you for 27 years.
I just want a game that has things like permadeath, or in this case, like the car. Yeah, you can permanently destroy the car. You can work on it, but I want a game like that to make it so that everybody has equal fear of it happening. Because you look at something like DayZ had permadeath, but there were always people who are like, no, just grab all the guns, and I know I'm going to be the one to kill the other person. Like, and so they just, even though it did work to some degree, it didn't work perfectly.
You know what DayZ was missing, at least in the standalone, is the zombies. It had
vehicles, zombies,
no threat other than other players.
Yeah.
So, in a game like this, I've been thinking about like what I would want in it, and I'm thinking it's like a post-apocalyptic world where like the apocalypse was caused by something like giant fucking bugs or something, or like a giant sandworm that'll just like come up out of the ground and eat you if you stand there too long.
I like that. Like that reminds me of that clip that Team Geo has.
Yeah,
that would be great. That should like be in every game.
Well, I was also thinking like it could be like a rapture type situation. So like at night, if you're not in a like in an area where there's light, like if you go into the darkness, like demons will just drag you off into a cave and beat you to death.
I like it.
Like something that you can't fight. Like I think video games have a lot of like grand ideas when it comes to like what enemies you'll face, and it's like, oh yeah, you face this guy, and it's like, but you can always beat him.
Right.
But what if you went up against something that literally could not be killed? Like, and that's always like the scariest game. Like Dead by Daylight's a perfect example of like somebody plays the killer, and there's no way to kill the killer. You just have to run away.
Yeah, and Dying Light has those guys after dark that are essentially impossible if they get you.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's a good point. That's only a few things do that well.
Yep.
Hey, let's just wrap up real quick with a good question. Moto Brado, of course, has a very good question. How do you find new people to stream with?
All right. That's a tough question. But
it's a tough one, but it's a good one.
It's the same way you make friends, really. You have to make friends with other people who stream.
And it's the best thing you can do is start streaming. I mean, look at the number of people that we've met just through being live, and then we find, hey, we get along with this person that we've been streaming with. Well, hey, maybe we should all chat together, and then you've got people to stream with.
Yeah, and then you'll get to a point where you have too many people to stream with.
And you're like, sorry, buddies.
I miss the good old days when it was just us.
we have one extra slot tonight. You guys are going to fight it out.
Because then it just becomes a mess. It really is sometimes. Like, they're like, no, but I want to. And then like nobody can decide. And then you got to kick one person out, and they're like, I see how it is.
It's like one of those games where it's like you have to balance how you treat everybody. And so, like, if you do this to this character, it's like, well, that'll help you here, but then this other person's going to hold it against you later, even though that actually hasn't happened yet. It just feels
right,
like it.
Russ. It is exactly like a Japanese hentai game.
Is that how those work?
Yeah, pretty much. That's Like all those like dating RPG sims. It's like,
oh, okay. I was thinking of Mafia 3 because that's a big thing in that is like you better treat your underbosses well, or one of them might not be there for you.
yeah, any game where it gives you like an option of like dialogue options with specific characters.
You know what I did that really well, and it's going really far back, was Wing Commander 4. Wing Commander 4 was shot like a goddamn Hollywood movie. So, like, they had to take everything into account. So, like, there's choices you make early on that they had to shoot, like, 4 goddamn versions for later with actual, like, actors and edit it together. And, like, there's parts of the thing you'll just never see because they had to shoot so many different versions of every scene to make sure, like, all right, well, if you pissed off this person, we don't have CG characters. We actually have to act every single individual one out. I used to like trying to go back and find them all.
I never played that game.
Oh, so good. I used to love those.
Man, maybe. Do you think there'll ever be like an HD remake in the future?
I wouldn't be surprised if there's new if they remade Wing Commander games, but probably not anytime soon because Chris Roberts is the guy that did it, and he's working on Star Citizen for the next 20 years.
Well,
all right. Well,
that's the end. We made it to the end, Russ.
Yay! Another podcast in the can.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Thanks for listening. Thanks. Thanks so long. Thanks for all the fish.
Yep.
Goodbye everyone.
Everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. And that's the end of the podcast, everybody.
Yeah.
But we're still here for a minute.
But yeah.
Lennon had also asked on Twitter, and he was saying in the chat, so H1Z1 after this, right? Well, Danger, you got to get back to work.
I'm going back to work.
But Chad is streaming H1Z1, and Christine and I are going to join him at the very least. So if you want to do that, I have spammed the link in the chat. So get on over there.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, Russ.
I got to know what Quarter's question was, because he was like, said something about like, oh, you didn't read my question, something about my neighbor's wife, but I couldn't find it. I didn't see it anywhere.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
Oh, we're also 5 subscribers away from 26,000.
Man, it's only taken a week and a half to get there. I feel like we've been working on 5 subscribers for like a whole week.
I know. It's just, you know, look, things will get better, I think. Maybe. Probably. I don't know. Everything is gonna be all right. You're right. It's, you know, that's how YouTube is. You know, it sucks for a while, and then it gets good. Yep. And then it sucks after that. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Go over, go click that link. I think. Go join us. Yep, and the link is in there. I spammed it again. I won't be there, but Russ will, and Chad. This is going to be like the opposite. Usually it's me working and watching you and Chad and whoever else, but now we're switching it up. Yeah, well, now my life is an empty existence. So have fun playing video games. Will do. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.